Mercedes said bad decisions cost them big points in the Dutch Grand Prix, and Lewis Hamilton even went as far as saying he could have challenged Max Verstappen for the win. Today we put that assertion to the test. Hello everybody, welcome back to F1 Manager, welcome back to HGP. My name is Aaron and today we're taking on a scenario. We're doing a race replay challenge, the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort. Now, we get to choose any team. The eventual podium was Max Verstappen, Fernando Alonso and Pierre Gasly, but Lewis Hamilton in the Mercedes reckoned he had enough pace to trouble the Dutchman. And as I said in the intro, we're going to put that to the test and find out basically if Mercedes were, just talking cobblers or if they were really onto something. So let's dive straight on in. We'll be starting 13th with Lewis and we'll be starting 3rd with George Russell. So I suppose the first thing to do will be to select some strategy. If you like this video, if you like other F1 Manager content, make sure you give this video a like, subscribe, because you can also check out my Mercedes career where I've taken Mercedes for the first season and tried to return them to race winning ways. So I'll put a link to that playlist somewhere up in one of the corners. It's usually the top right one as you're looking. But enough of that. We're diving in to the Dutch Grand Prix. Here we go. It's going to rain. And of course that's going to cause chaos. I have seen some comments that say the rain doesn't necessitate a switch to inters. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll judge the scenario on its merits. We'll have to watch out for the level of dampness on the circuit. And yeah, it's all about getting a great result basically. So I am going to underfuel the car quite significantly. This is something that I've been doing in the career mode, which you probably won't have seen by the time this comes out. How far can we underfuel? We can do 10 laps under fuel, and that's banking on a safety car. So let's go 64 laps of fuel, because if we're running in the wet, then use less fuel anyway. We don't need to fiddle. We can't fiddle around with the setup because it's parc fermé. Driver options there. I think the big decision is: do we keep Lewis on the mediums to start? So we've got rain coming at the start of the race, then another light sprinkling, then it's dry, and then right at the end a very, very heavy shower. So that bit at the end will be very, very important. Apparently no strategy at the moment. So let's check the forecast for George. And does this forecast a podium? We'll find out. So we'll go soft, medium, soft to begin with. With Lewis, do we keep him on? Do we go medium, soft, soft? I think we'll go medium, soft, soft, because then we'll be really fast towards the end of the race. Although everyone's going to be starting on softs most likely. So 10 places between the two drivers on the grid. We'll start with mediums on Lewis and we'll just keep it as authentic as possible, I suppose. And then see how things play out. So let's go to the start of the Dutch Grand Prix and get our raincoats ready. The time is now 3 o'clock in the game, and it's time to start this race. 5 red lights, and the Dutch Grand Prix is go. Let's see what George Russell does. He's immediately going for second place with Lando Norris. Hamilton is the only driver on the mediums. And we're going to drive in clean air.
Cool car.
So we take a slightly different line through corners, which helps, first of all, cool the car, cool the tyres, but also gives us better lines into corners. Gasly has fallen to 12th, or did he start 12th? I don't know. Ocon is now 16th. Just keeping an eye on the Alpines there. So we are stuck in traffic. Let's keep an eye out for the rain. It came at the end of the first lap in real life. Let's see. Is it wet at the end of lap 1? It is not. The rain is about to arrive, but how heavy it is and how much water it leaves on the track is the big question. Our tyres aren't staying cool, even though we're asking to drive in cleaner. And here is the rain. Here it comes. Now, decision time. Rain has arrived. Do we dive straight in for intermediates? Let's keep an eye on the guys at the front. It's not going up particularly dramatically, as Alonso has now passed George Russell with DRS, so that is Alonso moving forwards. Rain is falling, but not enough yet to necessitate a switch to inters. Hamilton will get DRS off the back of the Alpine of Gasly. Charge the pack. Russell has taken third place back from Fernando Alonso. Yes, come on, exactly. Let's watch that again. Gets the inside line, the magic inside line of F1 Manager. And just shows Alonso the outside curb of turn 1. Okay, now at 0.8mm, inters are as quick as slicks. So what do we do with Hamilton? Let's have a look at the weather. It's not reached that heavy rain period yet. We are going to put Hamilton on inters, because then we've got 3 sets of soft tyres which we can bolt on once we've used the inters, and we should be fine to be really quick from there. So Hamilton will come in. Verstappen, Alonso are all in. Russell has ended up staying out and takes the lead in exactly the same way from Lando Norris. We're going to call George into the box as well. We're not going to hesitate here. Hamilton's about to get held up by an awful lot of people, I would imagine. Here we go. Are we getting out anytime soon? Here we go. We're just going to drive through a load of people and another car. Ignore everything. Okay. Hamilton now has jumped a whole gaggle of cars, including Gasly, but it's going to keep us there. Hulkenberg has stayed out. That's interesting. Has have stayed out with both cars, I think. Yeah, Verstappen now goes through for third place. Russell comes out behind Alonso, who's just undercut us.
No rain forecast.
And now the rain has apparently stopped, or is stopping. So that switch back to slicks will be just around the corner. But we are still behind Stroll. Russell right on Alonso and Hulkenberg here. We're going to go high overtake aggression as Alonso goes around the outside of the Haas. We need to follow Alonso through here. Up the inside, yeah. He'll have to get out the way. High on the banking. And now we'll go past former Mercedes Junior in Ocon. Need to follow Alonso's progress. Hamilton has fallen off the pace of Sainz here. But that's fine, because hopefully we can get the switch back to slicks correct with Lewis and challenge with front guys. So Russell, let's speed this up and just get past Ocon. So now George Russell is in position for that forecasted podium and could be in for a bit better here. He's going to pass Hulkenberg. We're at peak confidence with George Russell. Down the inside goes the British driver. We're right onto the back of Fernando Alonso. Hamilton has upped his pace and closed the gap to the Ferraris, right on the back of them now as he goes past Gasly, who is evidently... Is he? No, he's on... he was defending Gasly. Who's holding this up? It's Magnussen. They've That's Ocon, who Russell passed on the last lap. They are so slow. They are so much slower. We need to get Lewis past this lot. Let's deploy.
Use the overtake.
Do we want high overtake aggression? Yes, we probably do. Russell is still fighting Alonso. Verstappen is, you know, already at Monza. The rain has stopped. Hamilton, what is going on here? Look at this car park. This is absolutely insane. Just look at it.
So we're low on battery at the moment.
From Magnussen back, look at it. Just cars everywhere. Where's Hamilton? Still 12. Can we get past Magnussen, please? Piastri is about to be right on Hamilton's tail. He's going past the Haas. It's all very slippery down into turn 1. And the sun is coming back out. So let's keep an eye on this metric over here, the dampness. And we're going past a Ferrari here. We're going past Carlos Sainz with Lewis Hamilton through the Skyflop corner. Not quite getting the job done though. Maybe into the double right. Here we go. This'll do. This'll do nicely. Thank you very much. Sainz, if we don't cover him off, can come back up the inside. He's going to do exactly that. I mean, I don't like this constant battling. Don't think it's necessarily realistic. As the sun shines, are we going down the inside of Gasly? Or Ocon even? Not yet. Still fighting. Still fighting. But this time we'll get the move done, I think, and then we can get after Gasly. Sainz is still there. And look at the cars behind. Here we go, down the inside on Gasly. Through goes Hamilton. Excellent stuff. I think the track is about to be dry. So let's bring Russell in.
Any feedback on track conditions?
And we're going to do exactly the same right now with Lewis Hamilton. Track is dry. There's a sprinkling of rain coming a bit later. Does Alonso go in? No, he doesn't. So we could be about to get the undercut on Alonso. The track is going to dry quite quickly now. Hamilton in 9th place. And there's Russell exiting the pit lane. Will he come out ahead of the Haas of Hulkenberg? No. Hamilton in. He drops to last. But he will be much quicker now. Where's Alonso? Coming out of the pit lane now. There's Russell going past. It was Sainz crashing. It's all happening. It's as crazy as the Grand Prix in real life itself. Here's Sainz, who's going to just light the rear end up and hit the wall. And there's a Haas, and that's red flag territory, surely. Russell moves into 2nd place. We've undercut Alonso. Here comes Hamilton. How many is he going to undercut? Who's just going? So that's Perez. Where's Leclerc and Stroll? Have we got the undercut on them? Not quite. Tyres will be coming up to temperature. Let's deploy with both drivers. So Hamilton up to 11th. Norris goes onto the mediums, interestingly, but Hulkenberg, Ocon and Magnussen, because they've stayed out, their tyres are completely muddied. And they're way off strategy. So we are now a net, what? So we make it 3, 1, 2, 3, probably 8th place. Now the tyres aren't coming up to temperature. We need to attack on the tyres. That's hurting our pace. We need to get them up to temperature so they give us the performance. Yeah, we're almost a second slower than... there's Alonso going through as rain begins to fall again. We will need to just manage our way through this. Alonso did a 16 flat there, aided by probably a whole chunk of DRS. Okay, Hamilton has caught Magnussen, and with a bit of DRS now and a bit of driving in clean air, hopefully we'll get the job done on the Danish driver. Not just yet though. Russell looking at Alonso. I thought he was going to dive down the inside there as Sergio Perez sets a fastest lap. With 15 flat. What's the lap times between us and Russell? But between us and Alonso even. We are managing George Russell. We are almost 2 seconds slower that lap around because they're busy fighting. Tyres now coming up to temperature. So we can scale back on them a little bit. Hamilton has got past Magnussen. The rain is still falling,
She'll keep these
but
tyres
it's
in good nick.
all okay. So let's see if we can close down this 7-second gap to Lance Stroll. We've got a yellow flag. Logan Sargent has collided with somebody because he's got a penalty. What's happened to the poor American driver here? It's going to be with Liam Lawson on his debut. And I mean, I don't know why Lawson felt the need to stop there, but fine. Let's make this attempt really count with Russell. In fact, what I will do is take him off the high aggression. I think he's going to go past now anyway. But what we will do is harvest while we're ahead, because there goes George Russell into second position. The rain is about to stop. Echo those thoughts, George. So we'll just harvest a little bit. Let's balance on the fuel. So we've got a bit more pace from the power unit. And we'll top up with Lewis for a moment.
Just work on getting that pack back
I'm
up.
fully expecting Alonso to come past. Perez is closing in as well. If we can just top up our energy, manage our tyres. There goes Alonso through for second. We're actually fighting back. They're side by side. They are completely side by side into Skyflop corner. And we are edging ahead, nosing ahead. We'll have to give up the DRS to Alonso.
Nice one. Good job. Currently P2.
Let's rarely defend here and let Alonso through tactically so that he goes through and then we get DRS on the main straight. Here comes Alonso. Let him through there. Or don't. Just fight for the position. That's fine. Let's avoid high-risk curbs. Oh, well, actually, we'll keep them on and we'll just attack on the tyres. With Hamilton, he's now reduced the gap to Stroll to just over 5 seconds. So Russell now under pressure from Alonso, who's going to have DRS. We'll put neutral defending on now.
Avoid
Now
curbs.
neutral on the
Avoid
energy.
curbs.
Well, Perez has come to join the fun. But now, next time we get ahead of Alonso, we can deploy for a lap and hopefully leave the Aston Martin behind. So stay within DRS here. Hopefully Perez doesn't come past. He hasn't. So, aggressive. High overtake aggression. And we'll deploy. And there goes George Russell. Now avoid high-risk curbs. Leave him in deploy. And just leave the Aston Martin behind. That's the idea. Right. Through sector 1, it's almost 0.8 of a second. And Alonso will hopefully be looking more at Sergio Perez than he will be at where he's going. Russell has pulled a massive gap on Alonso there. That's fantastic as Perez and Alonso now go through the corner side by side. And the Red Bull is going to nick the position into the penultimate turn. We are 15 seconds behind Verstappen now and a second a lap slower. Although this time around we're going to be 0.3 quicker. We were 1.7 seconds faster than Alonso. Excellent stuff. Hamilton has caught and is passing Lance Stroll. There we go. Quickly do some harvesting.
Just have to think about
now,
getting the pack back up.
oh, they've collided. There's a yellow flag and Stroll has a penalty. Swearing Lewis. It looked absolutely fine. Yeah, I mean, that's hardly worth stopping for, is it, lads? Come on. Alonso has been dropped by 4 seconds and has worse tyre wear. So Russell doing a great job in his tyres. We could potentially... I mean, he's got a set of mediums to put on. We could run the mediums in the next stint. And the same with Lewis. I mean, although it does make sense to potentially stop again for the softs. How long will the softs last? They should do 33 laps. So one more stop from here. We could do it. We could definitely do it on a set of mediums because they'll do 48 laps. But I think maybe 2 more stops for softs. We'd have to do some management as well. Let's have a look at our comparison to everybody else. Russell 58%. Everybody else starting to edge towards the 40s. We've had a crash. Albon! Albono! In reality, it was such a great day for Williams, but here he has just got a bit too throttle happy and crashed into the wall. I'm wondering if we pit Lewis on this lap, try and gain some time on Leclerc because we're falling back. Let's do that. We've got loads of soft tyres to use. Soft tyres coming out of our ears. Hamilton into the box. We might as well box Russell this time around. He hasn't got as many fresh softs to use, but they're usable. Magnussen locking up at turn 11. Hamilton out of the pit lane. Rejoins in 11th. So let's take the avoid high risk curbs off so we get the tyres up to temperature nice and quickly. Do the same with Russell. So he gets the tyre temperature out of the pit lane. How's the pit stop? Let's see. It's okay. It's not Red Bull rapid.
And track will be clear on exit.
We will deploy, and Leclerc is stuck behind the Alpine, which is stuck behind Hulkenberg. Has Hulkenberg boxed yet? Yeah, he must have. Yeah, he has. Battery empty for Lewis. That's fine. We'll just do a quick harvest because we are now, I think, within DRS range of Ocon.
And just charge the pack.
Which is good news. And Leclerc, if I can get rid of that box, is still in this train. Hamilton passing Ocon. Excellent stuff. There we go. What we probably do need to think about is a little bit of fuel saving towards the end of the race. Let's hop on board with the 7-time world champion, winner of 103 Formula One Grand Prix, as Lewis Hamilton goes blasting past the Haas. We'll start topping up on the battery. Avoid high-risk curbs again. We are peak confidence once more with Lewis Hamilton. Hulkenberg may be able to come back at us here with DRS. Here he comes down the pitch straight, and Hamilton defends the position. That's good stuff. So, quick deploy of the battery, and we'll see you later, Nico.
So we've got
who's in the hedge? There's a Ferrari involved, and there's Yuki Tsunoda, who's about to dive bomb Sainz, and there's contact. And there's swearing. And a penalty for Sainz. Wow. How is that a penalty for Sainz? Personal best sector 3. Retains peak confidence. Instead of 14.3. Quickest man on track is Lewis Hamilton. Norris with a 14.9. We're deploying on this lap, so we'll be probably even quicker. And look at that lovely tyre graph where we're just ignoring the slope of wear. What's the gap now to... It's Alonso. It's a 2.5 second gap. And we didn't set a personal best middle sector.
So battery at the
We'll
moment.
need to top up on the battery.
And just have a think about getting the pack back up.
We are comfortable to Leclerc, who now pits.
Stops are starting to happen now.
Wow. What strategy are they running? They're putting more softs on him. When did he box? So he did 12 laps on that set of softs. He must have absolutely obliterated them. He's going to come out in some traffic. Where is Oscar Piastri? Is he going to come out ahead of... No. So he's got Lando Norris to get past. We need to get past Alonso. Are we quicker than Alonso? Last time round we were 1.3 seconds faster. But we were deploying for a lot of that lap. So this time, 16.1, 15 flat. We are so much faster than Alonso, who's on mediums, which would explain it. That would explain a lot. We will now get DRS. Go away, AlphaTauri car. Who is it? It's Lawson. Right. Liam Lawson, I know you're on your race debut, but please leave Lewis Hamilton alone. He has business to attend to with one Mr. F. Alonso, and it involves overtaking with DRS into turn 1. Hopefully. Round the outside. Here we go. This will be fun, and also not possible. But we are still side by side. We're on board with Lewis Hamilton. Can we get the inside line for the bank to turn 3? Yeah, we can. And we can take 4th position momentarily. Alonso deciding he doesn't want to give up just that quite so easily yet. And there's the DRS detection point, I think. So Lewis will get the DRS. No, he didn't get the DRS. Did Alonso get it? Oh, wrong camera. So we missed it. Hamilton overtakes Alonso. But I will probably lose that position in a moment anyway. So let's take off driving clean air. How's Russell doing? He's very happy. He's getting that forecasted podium. Leclerc is probably going to undercut quite significantly, but his tyres are going to be much, much older. I don't know what Ferrari are up to. So unless they're going to stop again, there's 20 laps to go. So maybe we do that. We box George the next lap around. Let's harvest. And we'll call him in.
Charge the pack.
Next lap. Set of softs. Hamilton is some 16 seconds behind. I think we call him in now. We've got stacks of fresh softs. We call Lewis in now.
Box.
Because if Alonso follows us in, great. We'll just end up ahead of him. But if he doesn't, we'll end up further ahead because we've undercut. And there we go. He's going to get undercut. Let's keep an eye on the lap time. So Leclerc did a 15.1 last time round. Hamilton's first full flying lap out of the pit lane is going to be anytime soon. Russell, has he just lost a place to Leclerc? Is that... No, Leclerc is there. That is Sainz, who is stuck behind an Aston Martin, which is Alonso. He's just been lapped. So we are out behind Alonso, but we are probably going to overtake him in pretty short order. 14.2 for Hamilton last time around. But we're closing on Leclerc, who is still actually behind Norris, who's catching Alonso on his mediums. He's got to pit. Weather coming though towards the end of the race. Need to keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for that rain at the end. That could make or break this entire race. Leclerc and Norris have just cleared Alonso. Hamilton is going to do
Make sure you stay on top
exactly the same. He's still in high overtake aggression, so that's wonderful. So we have boxed from in front of Fernando Alonso, and a handful of laps later, we have overtaken Fernando Alonso on the track. Clouds are darkening. The rain is definitely on the way. It's here. The rain is here.
The rain is falling.
Because the track is now damp. Russell is into the pit lane. Hamilton will follow him in. Where is one Charlie Leclerc? Here he is. He's not going to undercut Russell, is he?
So if we just bring these in over the first
No, he's not. The rain is absolutely... It's literally raining sideways.
Bring it in nice and steady.
There's the Ferrari. Here comes Hamilton.
remember,
We're
white
not going
line
to get him.
exit.
Okay. Now we need to attack on the tyres. We can't...
Okay.
We're not going to make the finish. George Russell's not going to make the finish. And I don't think Lewis Hamilton is. We need to drive so far off the pace to save all this fuel. Let's go standard on the tyres with Russell, whose inters are starting to literally cook and not in the way you want them to. We're saving a lot of fuel, so that's good. We should just make the finish then. We don't need to do anything with Russell. He's 10 seconds ahead of Leclerc. Can we get Hamilton ahead of Leclerc? We've got 3 laps to go, so we'll just top up from there. I think we'll have to settle for 3rd and 5th, which is already an improvement on what Mercedes achieved in real life. Just got to make sure we get to the end with fuel. To be honest, that's the one that's going to catch us out. Very tight. Verstappen starts the final lap. Russell still has another lap to go. He needs to save an awful lot of fuel to get to the end. Zhou gets out the way. Didn't get the late red flag, but Verstappen still won. Russell, we need to get you to the end, mate. Conserve your tyres. Conserve everything. He's got less than half a kilo of fuel. He's not making it to the finish. George Russell is not going to make it to the finish. We didn't do enough fuel conserving. He's going to run out of fuel on the banking, I think. Maybe even before that. So George Russell's not going to get that forecasted podium. It's going to wash away because the last drips of fuel are just entering his engine. And now George Russell is crawling to a halt. Is he going to keep going? He's still going. He's still going. Oh, there's Leclerc going through. Russell has stopped. Hamilton goes through. Leclerc gets the podium. Russell will finish 5th because Norris was a lap down.
So that's
wow.
Good job today, mate.
Okay.
There's a long way to go, but let's keep pushing, guys. I believe in you.
So we still didn't get that forecasted podium. So compared to reality, 10 more points than George Russell scored, even though he technically didn't cross the line. But a quirk of the rules means that he keeps 5th place. Lewis Hamilton, 4 more points than reality. Toto Wolff in the mud because I got 22 points. He only got 8. So that's the Dutch Grand Prix rerun, I would suppose. Max Verstappen still won. Sergio Perez actually had an improved result. Got the fastest lap as well. But finished some 26 seconds behind his teammate. We were so nearly a lap down with George Russell finishing without fuel. Okay, so that was the Dutch Grand Prix. And if you enjoyed that mayhem towards the end, make sure you leave a like, as I said at the start of the video. Helps get the video out to more people. Subscribe for more F1 Manager content. If you enjoyed this sort of rerun, let me know which race I should do next. I'll try and do one maybe after each race weekend and see how we go. Maybe I'll even live stream them. Let's see if there's an uptake for that. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next F1 Manager video. It's bye for now.